Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Meenakshi Upreti. The top focus of the bulletin, the race for the Vice President's post. It seems all but clear that Draupadi Murmu is all set to be India's first woman tribal president. End of the day, the focus has now shifted to the race for the Vice President. There are two candidates. One, of course, opposition's Margaret Alva, and on the other side, we have Jagdeep Dhankar, who the NDA has nominated. All eyes are right now on Mamata Banerjee, on which side she chooses. Is she going to back the West Bengal governor with whom she has locked horns almost throughout his tenure? Or is she going to vote for the opposition's candidate? As of now, Trinamool Congress and Mamata Banerjee have maintained a conspicuous silence. Does this silence speak volumes? Will the opposition unity remain ahead of the vice presidential polls? Those are the big questions which we are, of course, asking in this debate and discussion we are about to hold. Far as, of course, the vice presidential race is concerned, it's making news once again because Margaret Alva, whose visuals you see on your right, is going to file her nominations today. It's a big day for the opposition, isn't it? Alok Mehta sir, all eyes are on the vice presidential polls, but do you think that opposition will be able to maintain its unity? Because it does seem very clear that Mamata Banerjee, who's going to be a key player here, has not made up her mind.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Last time also, when she announced very fast about the Yashwant Sinha's name and the other parties, maybe even Congress party, they agreed. But ultimately, number of parties again changed their mind and then shifted to NDA candidate. Same thing happening now with Sharad Pawarji, because from the very beginning, Sharad Pawar was insisting that without the Congress, you can't have the opposition, because the major party, even he was also from old Congress fan, so he insisted that the Congress should be there. Now Mamata Banerjee also want to show her superiority, because it seems otherwise they should have discussed before the announcement of this is Margaret Alva. Because Margaret Alva is also very senior Congress leader. When the Mamata ji, even she was not, I think maybe she was a student leader or later on the youth Congress, she joined. Because I remember Margaret Alva ji is, even before Mrs. Gandhi period, she joined the party, became, because in-laws were also there. So she got importance and become a member of parliament. She was party joint secretary before emergency. But after emergency, Janata Party time, she defected from Congress party and then again rejoined when the Congress came in power. So, but this is about background of the Margaret Alva. But that's why Sharad Pawar and the Congress party decided for Margaret Alva. But it seems they have not taken full confidence of the Mamata Banerjee. But I think the Mamata Banerjee is not going for the Mr. Dhankar, because she was so much, even she was demanding that he should be removed from the governorship, he should be withdrawn from the governorship. So, but just showing to the people or her own party men that I am a superior, I will decide with the other my colleagues, they will discuss on 21st and they will declare. So certainly she is going to declare, but she is also keeping her strength as a loner, some extent, as a part of the opposition, but as a superior, because she is the real contender for the prime ministership. Congress party wants to project Rahul Gandhi. Sharad Pawarji is now vying for the UPA chairmanship. What Sonia Gandhi is there as a UPA leadership. Now Sharad Pawar want to replace Sonia Gandhi as like what he was in Mahagadi in Maharashtra. Now Maharashtra, he is not in power. So he wants the total opposition as a leader as a chairman, not as a prime minister candidate. But he is eyeing for this because he was not candidate for the prime ministership. But he wants to lead the opposition. And Mamata Banerjee wants, at least she should be projected like a prime minister candidate for the future. And Congress is the reservation because Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, what he is doing in the parliament, he is totally against the Mamata Banerjee. The Congress party, they lost not a single seat they got in the West Bengal election. So they are fighting with the Mamata Banerjee in Bengal or in left parties in Kerala. So they are in the first situation. But Sharad Pawar want something with the Congress people, they should join hands together.
All right, sir, stay with us. Pratap Chandra Sarangi is also live with us on the broadcast. Good morning, sir. He's a MP from BJP. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on NewsX. As far as the vice presidential race is concerned, sir, all eyes, of course, are now on Margaret Alba. She's going to file her nomination today. What are the chances which you see for Jagdeep Dhankar? Of course, the numbers are stacked heavily in your favor. Do you think this time around as well, opposition may not be able to show a united front as they have been claiming, sir?
Nomination for the vice presidential election has been filed yesterday, and I am fully confident that our candidate Sri Dhankardji will win with a vast majority, and the selection of both president and vice president has been a matter of wisdom, and we thank our honorable Prime Minister and our JP Naddaji. There is a ample chance that the vice president will win with a thumping majority. No problem is there, and many oppositions will also support us in both the elections.
Sir, also help us understand, far as Draupadi Murmu is concerned, even though the discussion topic, of course, has shifted to the vice presidential race, the opposition called her symbolic. The opposition said that merely having a president from a tribal community doesn't change anything for the grassroots level people. How do you respond to that?
Exactly, Draupadi Murmu ji has been working in different fields. In social activities, in politics. She was councillor, she was vice chairman of the NAC, Rairangpur, and then she became MLA, minister, governor, and she has successfully worked in different fields. So there cannot be any doubt about her ability. Secondly, from the last line of the society, a person has been selected. This is for the first time.
Yes.
There is a tribal lady from Odisha has been selected for the post. And so this is a very enchanting experience for the legislators that they are going to cast their vote for a common man and who works for the common man, works for the tribal force. And so this will be a unique phenomenon in the parliamentary history of India. So everybody is interested, everybody is excited to see Srimati Draupadi Murmu as the President of India, and this is going to happen.
Right, and sir, since you are from Odisha as well, and Draupadi Murmu also, of course, belongs to Odisha, she does represent one of the most underprivileged sections of the society. How do you feel that it's going to really help catapult and bring the checkered history of tribals of our country to the mainstream, sir?
So matter is that Draupadi Murmu belongs to Marble District, Odisha. She is quite adjacent to my district. She belongs to an underprivileged category community of our state, our country. They are tribal. He represents the poor tribal, but he does not confine us. He does not confine herself to tribals only. But tribals are extremely excited. Women are also extremely excited, and. So we are all feeling proud of Draupadi Murmu on her being selected, nominated for the post of president, and we are very, very confident. And all the situation also compel us to believe very strongly that she is going to be elected with a vast majority, and there is no doubt about it.
Right, and sir, yes, exactly, and sir, as you've served as a former union minister as well, what does it really mean when you have a tribal president? I ask you this again and again because the opposition has called her a statue, a rubber stamp. They have said that this is nothing but symbolism.
I don't know why they say so, because they do not have any sense of state to the poor, to the tribal, the unreleased ones. So they want only people from the higher strata. Altogether, the concept is different in BJP, and our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi belongs to the common man's group. So he also always he tries to elevate the stature of the common man, be it Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, or be it the post of governors or the post of President of India.
Yes.
So his activities are very much
So you say that this
visible.
government is working for the upliftment of the tribal community, but I'm sure the politics of this entire matter is also not lost on anyone. The tribal community has been showing overwhelming support to the BJP. Out of 47 ST reserved seats in the last polls, 35 were won by the BJP. In fact, if we speak of Jagdeep Dhankar as well, he's been described as a Kisan Putra. We know how the farmer community has been a little upset with the BJP. So political calculations also not lost on anyone. That you will concede today, won't you, sir?
I could not follow what.
Sir, political compulsions also happen. End of the day, if Draupadi Murmu is the president, then I'm sure the BJP also hopes that tribal votes and the catchment areas, the ST reserved seats will also vote for the BJP. There is a lot of calculation behind fielding these candidates, isn't it, sir?
No, simply because he belongs to the tribal community, has not been elected.
Okay.
He is also competent and capable. He has performed many duties as MLA, as minister and governor very successfully. His ability is a point. And second part is that she belongs to tribal community and she belongs to, she is a woman also. So, women empowerment, tribal empowerment and empowerment of the neglected masses is the basic thrust on her being selected, nominated. So, all these sides should not be ignored. And I am sure...
Sir, her achievements, her credentials should not be ignored. But what about the opposition, sir? What will today you say about the so-called unity of opposition? At the time of Draupadi Murmu, JMM, whatever is left of the Uddhav Sena and others voted for Draupadi Murmu. Now when it comes to Jagdeep Dhankar, is the BJP hoping for the same?
No, exactly same vote I cannot say, but we will win. Jagdeep Dhankar will win, but the difference may be more or less, there is no problem.
Polls will have any bearing on the 2024 polls because the opposition unity, since we are speaking about the same, that seems to be in shambles. The opposition is very clearly not speaking in one voice, be it Margaret Alva because the TMC has not made its stand clear, or be it Yashwant Sinha, where many had very openly refused to support him.
We all know that oppositions are divided because they do not have any particular principle, any ideal to follow. Only to keep BJP out of power is their dream, to occupy power by hook or crook is their dream. So they cannot be united unless there is a very high ideal. How can they be united? So there may be a temporary unity for some time for a vested interest, but their unity cannot last long. So there is no question of any threat from the side of the opposition to the BJP-led government.
So you say the opposition is a united house. Before I let you go, and you've dedicated a lot of time to us, just one or two more questions. Far as Draupadi Murmu is concerned, sir, you say that it's not going to help consolidate so-called tribal votes. But what about, say, Jagdeep Dhankar? He was described as a Kisan Putra. Isn't the idea also to placate the farmer community who were allegedly and reportedly upset with the BJP after the passage of the farm laws the first time, sir?
It may help unite these farmers, but it is not intention to select people, nominate people from the lower area, from the neglected area is our motto, and by that we encourage people who have been long neglected after independence.
Okay, you say it's solely based on their merits and credentials, sir. One more question, since you're from Odisha, do you think that Draupadi Murmu being made the next president of India, she was the NDA nominee at the end of the day, will actually help BJP make inroads in Odisha as well?
Yes, by nomination of Draupadi Murmu, by her being elected as President of India, I think there will be a awareness among the people of Odisha that BJP-led government under the able leadership of Shriman Narendra Modi, our Honorable Prime Minister.
Okay, I take your point.
Much important. on Odisha.
Okay.
And giving due respect to Odisha's culture, art, history.
Okay.
Because this government has done many things to memorize Sri Bhakti Jagabandhu.
All right, point taken, sir. So you're saying tribals were given their due by the Modi-Shah duo. Stay with us. We're being joined by Pramod Tiwari. He's the MP of the Congress. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on NewsX. Far as the BJP is concerned, they seem to be targeting their guns at the opposition, claiming that you're all a divided house. There was no unity when it comes to Draupadi Murmu. And right now also, when we're speaking of the vice presidential elections, Margaret Alva filing her nominations, but we don't know which way all the opposition parties are going. Mamata Banerjee, conspicuous by her silence, sir, today. Mr. Tiwari, can you hear us, sir?
No, please just.
Mr. Tiwari, yes, I'll just repeat my question, sir. मेरा पहला सवाल ये था कि आज लग रहा है कि opposition is a divided house. जब द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी की बात आई थी, that time also opposition did not vote en masse. JMM and other parties ended up backing Draupadi Murmu, not Yashwant Sinha. Will the same story repeat when we speak of the vice presidential elections?
देखिए, अगर मेरिट पे देखा जाए और मैं आपको 47 से आज तक की बात बताऊं, चाहे वो राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी का चुनाव रहा हो या कोई चुनाव रहा, विपक्ष हमेशा राष्ट्रपति के चुनाव में और उपराष्ट्रपति चुनाव में एक या दो बार आप छोड़ दें तो हमेशा प्रयास करता है कि लोकतांत्रिक संवैधानिक ढंग से वो विरोध करे। हमने अपने दायित्वों का निर्वहन किया, क्योंकि सबसे बड़ा फेल्योर मोदी जी का ये था कि उन्होंने उम्मीदवार खड़ा करने के पहले बात ही नहीं की, और जब बात नहीं की तो निसंदेह विपक्ष के पास क्या चारा रह गया था। अगर वो 2-3 नाम लाते, बात करते, तो शायद हम किसी पैमाने पे पहुंचते और सर्वसम्मत से हो जाता, पर ऐसा नहीं हुआ। और उसका न होने का जो मैंने कारण दिया आपको, पूरी तरह विपक्ष का फेल्योर न मानते थे, मोदी जी की हठ धर्मिता मान लें, और या तो फिर आप ये महसूस करें कि जो कुछ उनको करना था उन्होंने अपने कर्तव्यों का पालन नहीं किया।
जी,
इसलिए ये चुनाव हुआ और हमने किया है। अब
सर, आप कह रहे हैं कि जी भाजपा ने अपने कर्तव्यों का पालन नहीं किया, ये आपका चार्ज है, पर एक सवाल ये भी खड़ा होता है कि 2024 से पहले ये यूनाइटेड ऑपोजिशन क्या है? क्योंकि जब जगदीप धांकर जी की बात करी जाए, ममता बनर्जी ने अपना स्टैंड क्लियर नहीं किया है, वो अभी तक शांत हैं इस मुद्दे पे, और बहुत सारी रूमर्स चल रही हैं कि वो चाहती हैं कि धांकर जी बस एज अ गवर्नर ऑफ वेस्ट बंगाल जाएं और वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बन जाए, और इसीलिए वो चुप बैठी हैं, शायद वो एब्सटेन भी कर लेंगी वोट से। क्या आपको श्योरिटी है ममता बनर्जी किस तरफ जाएंगी?
और मुझे तो ऐसी कोई चर्चा नहीं सुनाई पड़ी। मेरी बातचीत, मुलाकात भी
ठीक है
उनके दल के जो नेता हैं उनसे हुई थी, तो ये कयास आपका या नेचुरली आपको किसी ने दिया होगा, तो मैं उसे मानता हूँ कि उसमें दम नहीं है। एक चीज
सर, अगर ठीक है, ये तो रूमर्स एंड स्पेकुलेशंस है, बट अगर ममता बनर्जी आपके साथ खड़ी हैं तो वो आपके मीटिंग में क्यों अटेंड नहीं करे? क्यों वो अभी तक बोल रहे हैं कि उन्होंने अपना मन नहीं बनाया? ये तो ऑफिशियल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं सर।
किया जा रहा है, मैं जहाँ खड़ा हूँ इसी के सामने नॉमिनेशन पेपर फाइल किया जा रहा है, तो इस तरह पहले से अंदाजा लगा लेना कुछ जल्दबाजी होगी।
ठीक है।
दूसरी बात मैंने जो कही आपसे, प्रतीक्षा करिए। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि स्वस्थ परंपराओं का निर्वाह करते हुए ममता जी पूर्ण समर्थन देंगी मार्गरेट अल्वा जी को। उनके व्यक्तिगत संबंध बहुत पुराने हैं और शायद मार्गरेट अल्वा जी ने उनसे अलग से भी बात की है, ऐसी चर्चा है। ये मैं आपको स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूँ।
ठीक है, आप अभी होपफुल हैं कि टीएमसी विल कम एंड वोट फॉर मार्गरेट अल्वा विद द ऑपोजिशन। सर, एक सवाल और, अगर हम जगदीप धांकर की बात करें तो जब जेपी नड्डा साहब ने इनकी नॉमिनेशन को डिक्लेयर किया था, आई एम श्योर यू विल रिमेंबर, तो उन्होंने धांकड़ जी को किसान पुत्र बोल के डिस्क्राइब किया था। ऑब्वियसली बीजेपी होप कर रही है कि जो फार्मर कम्युनिटी थी, जो भाजपा से काफ़ी नाराज थी आफ्टर द फार्म बिल्स, उसको वो प्लेकेट कर सके बाय ऑफ कोर्स नॉमिनेटिंग जगदीप धांकड़। आपको क्या लगता है इसके बारे में?
मैं आपको फिर कह दूं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी राष्ट्रपति का पद हो, उपराष्ट्रपति का पद हो, जाति के आईने में लेके चलती है, धर्म के आईने में लेके चलती है, आने वाले चुनाव के आईने में लेके चलती है। अब कंपेयर करें, मार्गरेट अल्वा इसी हाउस की, उन्हें प्रेसाइड करना पड़ेगा राज्यसभा। राज्यसभा में वो काफी अरसे तक रही हैं, मंत्री रही हैं, और राज्यसभा की गतिविधियों से, राज्यसभा की कार्यप्रणाली से जितना वो परिचित हैं, क्षमा करिएगा, धनखड़ जी नहीं। तो मेरिट पे अगर आप देखें तो वो मच बेटर है। अब ये मान के चलिए कि जैसा मैंने कहा, सन 52 से लेके आज तक
जी,
ये तो अब किसान पुत्र, निश्चित रूप से किसान पुत्र पर जब लाठियां चलवानी थी, 700 जाने लेनी थी, तब वो किसान पुत्र नहीं थे, पर चुनाव के लिए किसान पुत्र हो गया। क्यों नहीं, एक साल क्यों चला 13 महीने किसान आंदोलन?
ठीक है, सो यू आर सेइंग इट्स जस्ट एन आई वॉश। मैंने आपका, ठीक है, अभी नोट योर पॉइंट सर, यू आर सेइंग दैट इट्स जस्ट एन आई वॉश एंड सिर्फ ऑप्टिमिज्म में भाजपा इंडल्ज कर रही है, और आपका कहना है कि ममता बनर्जी आपके साथ है। सर, थोड़े दिन पहले ही एक मीटिंग हुई है राजभवन में, जिसमें हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा थे, ममता बनर्जी थी और धांकड़ जी थे। उसी के 2-3 दिन बाद अगर ये टाइप ऑफ अनाउंसमेंट आती है कि वो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है और ममता बनर्जी से बिल्कुल चुप्पी साधे बैठी है, आपको फिर भी इसमें कोई अलार्म बेल या ऐसा कोई रेड साइन नहीं दिख रहा है?
चुप्पी वो आपसे साधे बैठी, आपके चैनल से साधे बैठी होंगी। मैंने इतनी बड़ी बात कही, उस पर आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया कि मार्गरेट अल्वा जी से भी उनकी बात हुई है। मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ कि आज ही हम लोगों की उनके पार्टी के लीडर जो हाउस के हैं, उनसे बात हुई है। मुझे जो आप कह रही हैं, मैं इससे इत्तेफाक नहीं करता, इससे सहमत नहीं हूँ, ये मैं कहना चाहता हूँ आपसे।
All right, sir, that's a very pertinent point which you raised. Now, the Congress Rajya Sabha MP, Mr. Tiwari, who joined us, he reiterated it not once, not twice, but thrice that Mamata Banerjee has spoken to Margaret Alva, and the Congress at least is assured that she is going to back Margaret Alva. Of course, the signs seem to tell a slightly different story. So, stay with us. Brij Mohan Srivastava, NCP spokesperson, has also joined us. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on NewsX. I'm sure all eyes, as you know, are on the vice presidential polls. Everyone asking who's going to be the next VP of our country. The number games are stacked heavily in the favor of Jagdeep Dhankar. How do you see, the latest developments, and what about the opposition unity, since Mamata Banerjee is completely silent on who she is supporting?
Things is very clear actually. The opposition, being an opposition party, we have decided to nominate Honorable Margaret Alva ji. Okay. So today she is filing the nomination also, and the unity of the opposition leaders are very known to each and everyone, and we have, because the party has decided to vote to Margaret Alva ji. This instruction is given by the Sharad Pawar to all our NCP voters. So we will vote to Margaret Alva ji.
Okay, NCP you're saying is going to back Margaret Alva, but and do you have any idea if Mr. Pawar himself has spoken to Mamata Banerjee? Any word coming from the TMC camp? Because the conspicuous silence of TMC and Mamata Banerjee is being interpreted as a reported tacit support for Jagdeep Dhankar. Many suggesting that end of the day, the first thing she would want is to get rid of Mr. Dhankar, at least as the governor of West Bengal, considering that both the camps have taken on each other head on, sir.
Actually, I am not aware of the what Mr. Honorable Sharad Pawar has spoken to Mamata ji or not, but we feel that Mr. Dhankar, when he was the governor of Paschim Bengal, he was not having very cordial relation with the Mamata ji. So I am sure the TMC will not support Mr. Dhankar candidature, and 100% she will support to Margaret Alva ji. And you know the leader of this opposition camp is Mamata Banerjee side.
Okay.
So,
but on what basis?
Why she will not support
On what basis are you so confident about Margaret Alba? Because you know it more than I, that the numbers seem to be very heavily stacked in favor of Jagdeep Dhankar, and that's why he has been claiming that he seems very comfortably placed to win. What is the basis for this confidence? And secondly, you see no alarm bells in Mamata Banerjee's conspicuous silence, because if you say, as you claim, that she is going to support Margaret Alba, why not declare it in the open?
Actually, why she is not why she is not giving a statement publicly, it's not known to me. But I told you, we can presume, because she was not having very good relation with the Dhankarji. So we can interpret this thing that she will not support Dhankarji candidature.
Okay,
but
we don't know if she's even going to abstain. Nobody knows that. This is all in the realm of speculation. That's a fair point you make. In fact, the visuals which are coming in, that's exactly what you were also talking about, sir. These are live visuals. Margaret Alba filing her nomination. Of course, it's a historical moment.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.